Good morning. So this is day 2 of our annual inspection, and on the inside here we just have a few more things to take out. The first thing we're going to do is going to take out those 2 aluminum plates there that cover the rudder pedals mechanisms. There's a pilot side and the co-pilot side. We're also going to take out this center console, this plastic covering here for the center console. There's some lubrication points behind that, and we also need to take out the headliner, and there's a number of screws that we got to take around for all the plastic pieces. The door post coverings have to come off, and that should do it for the inside. And then we can start lubing all the pulleys, and I'm going to do my own inspection. Naturally, the mechanic has to do his own, but you know, as they say, 2 sets of eyes is better than 1. So I'm going to look at things with a different set of criteria. So let's get started. Okay, on this side here, there's only 5 screws that are holding the plate down. There's 3 in the front, and there were 2 in the back. So this guy should come right out. Like so. So now it exposes, there's a pulley over there, and all the tubing that goes for the rudder pedals. I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. Okay, on the pilot side there were 6 screws this time instead of 5. And this guy also comes out, and then you can see a pulley back there. You can see the master cylinder for the brake, the brakes I should say, and that's about it. So next we're going to take out the center console, and we'll have to disconnect the mic right here. We have to pop this little cover off for the fuel selector, and there's a Phillips screwdriver in there. This knob has to come out. There's also Phillips screw over here, and then right down here there's this cover for one of the illumination lights. So there are 2 screws there, so that's got to come off. And then there's some Phillips screws on the side and along the bottom on both sides, and that comes right out. You also, once you take out the mic, there's also a couple screws right here and right here. Those have to come out. And once you pull the console away from the metal subframe, there's a bulb right over here that you have to, it's kind of press fitted with the bulb socket, and that disconnects from the center console. Then you'll be able to remove that. Okay, so I've pulled out all the screws for the center console, took out the knobs, and by the way, I had to take out the placard for the fuel selector as well. Just 2 little Phillips screws here. So now she's about ready to come out, and you will see this cable, and there's the bulb right there. So you just kind of rock it back and forth, and that bulb comes out. It's got these little barbs on the side, and it's kind of press fitted in there. So you just temporarily put it right there. You have to kind of tuck it out of the way, out of the moving parts. But so here you have one center console, and as you can see, there's all kinds of places that need lubrication down there. Okay, next we're going to attack the headliner. Alright, so here comes a very interesting airplane. You don't see these too often these days. It's a North American T-28, and it should make one heck of a sound. Alright, so in order to take out the headliner, we got to start down below. We got to take off this screw, that screw, because this piece here, there's a little piece that goes out to here. We got to take off that screw, we got to take off that screw, we got to take off this other trim piece over here. There's 3 screws over here. But the first order of business, we got to take out this little trim piece right here, and it's kind of press fitted in there. So here it comes. It's a V channel or U channel, and that just comes out, and it will expose this piece here that needs to come out. So that's that. And now we can proceed to take out the remaining screws. And then over here on the center console, on the above the overhead center console, we got to take out this plastic lens. There's a couple screws that hold this other piece in place. And then the speaker over here, likewise, there's a half a dozen screws or so. So this whole piece comes out, and then we got to take off the inertia reel cover that just comes down, and it kind of hangs there. And then there's these metal trim pieces that keep the 2 pieces of the headliner. So there are actually 2 headliners here. There's one over here, and then past this separation here, there's another piece for the rear seat. So and along the way, you got to take off the trim pieces for the air outlets as well, one on each side. And you got to take off this rear piece as well. And let's get started. Okay, so the front headliner is just about ready to come out. As you can see, I took out all the trim pieces. I took the door posts off, and there's one pulley back over there, and there's another pulley right down here that needs to be lubed. And I did the same thing on this side here. So we're going to take off the speaker cover right there, and then this interior light cover, and the headliner should slip right out. Alright, so the plastic piece that covers the speaker is out, and I popped out the lens that goes right here on this plastic piece for the interior light, and there are 2 Phillips screws. So once these 2 screws are removed, this plastic piece can come down, and then the whole headliner slips out of there. Alright, just one more detail. So I've taken the 2 screws off, and this thing is still attached, and that's because the light, there's a little clip that you have to push it out of the way, and there you go. So now this guy comes out, and the headliner, as you can see, has dropped down. So that's it. Alright, as you can see, the headliner's out, and turns out I don't have to take out the rear one at all, because I can see the 2 little pulleys right over here. So we're going to leave those the way they are, and there's the headliner. B-17. Definitely a rare sight these days. Alright, so we're just about ready to start lubing all the pulleys. and hinges, and my mechanic swears by Corrosion X, so that's what I use as well. So what I've done here is the normal tube that comes with the can is only about 6 inches long. There's some very difficult, just out of reach hinges and pulleys. So what I've done is I've extended this out. So now I have about a 3-foot reach. And what I've done is I've taken some heat shrink tubing, and I just shrank it down to mate to this plastic piece here, or the plastic tube, and then you see the finished product here. It doesn't really matter where you start, on the inside or the outside. I prefer to start on the outside, and you know, you have to consult with your mechanic as well as the service manual to find out where all the pulleys. The hinges are pretty easy to find out, but the pulleys are kind of hidden. So you want to make sure you get them all. At the same time that you're doing this, you're looking for any discrepancies, any abnormalities. So this is the other set of eyes that I was talking about. Of course, your mechanic will have the final say so, but you can help them along by spotting problems as well. That's about it. You're going to need about a 6-foot ladder or so to reach probably just the one hinge up there on the rudder. So the rudder has 1, 2, and 3 hinges right there, and your elevator. I'm sorry, your elevator has 1, 2 hinges, and one note you might want to check. There should be a bonding strap, a braid that connects your elevator to the rest of your airplane. That's very important for lightning protection. That's about it. So let me get started. Alright, so I'll show you what you do. You basically spray it on either side of the hinge there, and then you move the elevator up and down to work it in. Okay, and then you give it another couple more shots. So same deal with the rudder. You give it a couple of shots, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then you want to move the rudder left to right to work the lubricant inside the hinge pins. Okay, the other spot is right here on the rudder cable. There's one on each side. Once again, move the rudder back and forth to work that guy in there. And then there's the elevator horn assembly over here. And there's a number of spots that you have to do it. Clearly there's one over here, and there's another pivot point right over here. All right,